Hey, welcome back. If you've seen an episode before, welcome back. If
Welcome
not,
back.
just plain old welcome.
Yeah. The reason I'm smiling is just before we went on, I said, let's give him 25 minutes of brilliance. And I laughed at the very concept, the very idea.
Yeah, we've tried.
We tried. It isn't happening.
It's not working.
So don't set your standards up that high.
No.
But we are having a wonderful time with you, and we thank you very much for both listening and maybe sharing the podcast with someone.
Yeah.
And, it's akin to saying, oh, you got to listen to these two guys.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
And you don't have to qualify the statement any further.
They actually have lasted 40 years in the ministry.
I know. How did that happen?
Yeah.
Each. Not like we have to add it up.
No, each.
No,
We have over 80 years of church.
Church
Ministry,
and
yeah.
the church still stands. Isn't that a wonderful example of
It
God's
is.
grace?
It
I mean,
is.
the
Well, it's a
church
sign
still
of
stands.
God's power.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And we're both still, and we're here at
Yeah.
First Emmanuel and River of Life together, and they are both still standing. So
Amazing.
It is. All very good. Well, we are doing the Beatitudes
We
in
are.
the Sermon on the Mount.
Yep, Matthew 5, 6, 7. We're early. And we're in the first part is the
Right.
Beatitudes.
Yep.
And really, Beatitude, we talk about being blessed.
Yes.
So we kind of talked about that the last couple
Yeah.
weeks. Unusual that we would look at the condition of some people and say, hey, you're blessed.
And they would say, I don't think so.
Right. Yeah.
Because I'm poor in spirit, I'm hungry, I'm
Yeah.
mourning, I'm all those other
Persecuted,
qualifiers.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
And yet he says, but you are. And I think the point we made last time is we are because he's with us.
Right.
You know, he doesn't send us comfort. That was our theme.
Yeah.
That he doesn't send us comfort from a distance. Here's a package of comfort. Hope it works for you.
Yeah.
But he draws beside us, and his comfort is taking our burdens himself.
And every time we are brought through a burden, I think we have a better understanding of being blessed.
Yes.
I talked to a pastor who was retired, and he said, oh, I went in for a major surgery, and almost wish I had that surgery at the beginning of my ministry rather than the end, because I think I could have related a little better to what my parishioners were going through when I made a hospital call.
Right.
Isn't that interesting?
That is.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have that difficulty, it can be that you look down and say, "Who?" Now this is my. Before you probably give us Bonhoeffer and more German. Here's my analogy. I always thought when you see a muffler lying on the road,
Oh, yeah.
you think, what kind of people drive with a car that's got the muffler so rotted away, so ready to fall off, and they're still driving it? I mean, who does that? And then, of course, our 91 Ford Probe on interstate, boom, the muffler falls off on our car. Well, I have a new appreciation for people who
Yes.
drive cars
Yeah,
and
yeah.
mufflers falling off, because you know what? They're really good people. They're just really busy. And they're not deaf. They just think, I'll get to it.
Right.
Boom, it's on the ground. Like the surgery idea. Maybe if I would walk into that experience, I have much more patience and kindness towards people
Yeah.
whose muffler had fallen
Yeah.
off. But I would wish they'd get it repaired because it's kind of loud. So that's life. Yeah.
So we are. I don't know. Will we make it past one verse?
No, we are going to make two.
Oh,
We're going to make two.
All right.
Okay, because last time we only got one. We did 5-4.
last
but
two
now,
times we only did.
Well, that's true. Well, we have to give context.
Oh, okay.
For the first one.
Yeah.
I mean, heavens, we wrapped up like 4 chapters before we got going even.
Yeah.
So we were good. No, I think we can do this one. Blessed are the meek, they shall inherit the earth.
Yeah.
Isn't that a contrast?
Boy.
This meek one inherits not just a little, inherits the earth.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is contrary to what we see in the world. Very rarely do you see someone who rises to political or governmental power as a rather meek person. You got to
Right.
be in there. You got to punch and claw and
Yeah.
tell it like it is, and you got to be bold, and you got to be brash, and I don't know anyone who, and maybe we lost the meaning of meek from what Jesus wants to give us.
It wouldn't
Because
be.
it's almost, when we hear meek, it's almost a Walter Mitty kind of thing,
Oh.
right?
Nice touch. If our friends remember, Walter Mitty had all of these fantasy adventures.
Yes.
He was the meekest little man.
Yeah.
But suddenly he was the captain of the ship. He was flying the plane. He was the doctor in surgery.
He was the hero.
Every time he could do anything.
Yep.
Oh, what a fantasy life this man had in his meekness. Well, I think the meek isn't necessarily then weak.
Right.
Weak has no power. Meek has chosen, to a degree, to not display the power that they have or the authority that they have. Right.
Right. So we are called to follow Jesus. If we look at especially this one, we have Philippians 2, where Jesus
Oh, yeah.
set aside. He didn't lose his divinity.
No.
That might have been easier. But to
Right.
have power and not use it.
Not use it. So he emptied himself not of the
Yes.
divinity, but he emptied himself. This is Philippians 2.
Yep.
Of that constant display.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keeping it hidden. Oh. He has the most incredible car in the garage, and he chooses instead to walk,
Right.
which he did.
Or drive the 91 Probe with the bad muffler.
That really was a bad car. Just for your footnote, we sold that car for $300, and there was a mystery short somewhere, so that every night I had to take the battery cables off the battery. Otherwise, I'd have a flat-out battery in the morning and
my
have to jump it.
goodness.
So it would charge the battery, and then I pull the cables off at night to start the drive into work. I put the cables back on, tighten. I could do this in my sleep, I tell you, and then drive away. 300. I absolutely let the man know that's what you got to do. There's a short in here, but it's a $300 car. If I paid the guys $100 an hour to find the short, it's not worth it.
No.
No. So just disconnect the battery every night. You know you're driving a cheap car when.
Yeah.
And I could finish that sentence in many ways.
But that was the classic car in the day.
Well, it had its moment
Yeah.
when it was brand new and shiny and all worked.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we were on the far, far other end
You're
of that.
on the other end of the spectrum?
Yes, it was a cheap car.
Yeah.
But that's another thing. Anyway, so we can be meek, perhaps by choice, perhaps by a willingness to, take the lowest place. How about that parable where Jesus said, okay, look, you get invited to a wedding. Where do you choose to sit? Well, don't go to the front, because someone greater than you will come and you'll be sent down to
And
your
you're
shame.
embarrassed. Yep.
Instead, you go choose the lowest place. Doesn't that sound like the action of one who is
Yeah,
by nature
yeah.
meek? And, then the bridegroom or whomever comes and moves you to the front.
Those who humble themselves are exalted. Those who exalt themselves will be humbled. The first is last, the last is first.
Exactly. And that's exactly this verse.
Yeah.
I think that's the amplification. If we say,
Right.
well, what does that look like? Now, I think one challenge that we have, especially with that, he who exalts himself will be humbled. We're all for that. That sounds good. It doesn't happen as fast as we think it ought to.
Right.
I'm sure we'd say, God, isn't that like now? Or it should have been like yesterday? He says, I got my own time.
Or
on
did
that.
you quit doing that?
Yeah.
Did you have to change course?
Exactly. I just don't do it. I let the rich, the proud, the vain just run amok.
Whatever they need to do.
Whatever. I got tired of trying to change
Well,
them.
Psalm 73 is kind of there, isn't it? Where it's kind of like, hey, Lord, I'm following you. And I take a look around, and the people who don't even like you are the prosperous ones.
Yes. Why is that?
And we might ask, is that fair? When we know the answer,
Right.
what we're really saying is it's not fair.
Right.
And I'm really thankful that God's not fair.
Yeah, because if God says, do you really want to play the game of fair? Because that comes back the other way.
Yeah.
You can point at somebody and say, is it fair that he has so much of whatever? And then, here, Dan, here's some of the things you've done. What would be the fair outcome given what you've done? And I'd rather not see that deck of cards at
No, no,
all. No. No, you just leave the cellophane wrapper on that.
Yep.
And I'd rather not go there. Yeah. So don't have me in that context. Choosing to take the lowest place. That might not be the worst translation for meek. Willing to allow others
I think
go
that.
first.
Yep.
You know, they'll inherit the earth. Now, what part of the earth are you going to inherit? Are you taking over Cedarburg? Well, maybe
I'm
throw
going
in
Oostburg.
Grafton. And our friends who might not know this, there's a small town north of Cedar Grove where we live, about 5 miles north, Oostburg, predominantly Dutch. And,
Nice town.
Nice town. It really is. It's a very nice town. But
Very clean.
For Pastor Rosh, it's been his
My
his
go-to.
other. Yeah, right. Exactly. If Cedarburg ever just doesn't disappoints you, there's a place I'm sure in
You
Oostburg
gotta
waiting to go. You got to go. Man, whatever you want. Just send Diane up there and she'll pick it out for you. You say, yes, dear, wherever you want.
You know, with this whole meek thing, the church has developed a term that the business world's picked up over the last generation.
Okay.
Servant leader.
Oh, yes.
Oh, don't we hear this a lot? There's
lot.
a servant leadership, and I might be mistaken. I'm not a Hebrew scholar, but I think in Genesis, you know, the Lord says to the man and woman, you know, subdue, you know, have dominance
Yes.
on this. We use the word dominant today to be like the overlord, but it really is to lead, to serve from underneath.
Yeah.
And
This
which
is your
what-
responsibility.
Yeah, which is what Jesus did. Since we don't do it very well,
Right.
Jesus said, all right,
right.
move,
Right.
I'll do it.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
Right. So while we'll inherit the earth as a wonderful promise, that is, we'll have some measure to be responsible for.
Yeah.
But before that overwhelms us,
Yeah.
He's with us. And He says, well, for instance, you and I began our ministries and we were given a congregation that we were responsible for.
Right.
You know, and for me it was Butternut, and I thought, oh, I have no idea how I'm going to do this, and no idea. You know, no offense to the SEM, but you don't feel prepared when you
Oh, gosh,
actually get to a parish. And
You're prepared for theology.
yes,
And I interview guys that want to go to the SEM, and I always tell them, you know, they're going to teach how to be a theologian. You have to
which
learn
is-
how to be a pastor.
right, exactly, and that takes interaction with people.
It does.
Yeah, it's just to get
It
out of the
does.
study and meet some folks and,
Yeah.
and deal with them. But anyway, He's with us in that measure of the earth that we're given.
Right.
I don't want the whole earth. I would like this place that you've got for me, and we all find ourselves in that place, whether by intent, I sought to live there, or you and I were sent in parish life.
Yeah.
We went where they told us to go.
Yep.
But that's a wonderful thing. I didn't have to choose to go to Butternut. I could say,
You were
I'm supposed to
told.
be here.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful thing.
Yes. It's Abraham
Yeah.
leaving family
Yes.
and land to go to a place that the Lord will show him.
I'll show you. Isn't
He
that a
didn't,
wonderful?
he didn't give him the brochure.
No. But he also could say to Sarah, this isn't my idea, honey.
Yeah.
You know, He'll show us, and that's where we'll be, and we'll prosper.
Yep.
And He certainly did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
we
you
go.
know, I like the idea that it's not the entire world. It's not like if you're meek enough, you'll be the president of the United States.
No.
That's not it. It's maybe we could say this term, my world,
Yes. Yes.
right? Which is my corner of the kingdom.
Right.
Yeah, it's my world. It's my home.
Right.
It's my occupation, my vocation.
Right.
Yeah.
And you and I know that the more you care about that which you have, the more content, the more complete it is. In fact, you feel like I simply don't do enough for the place, the people that I do have. I don't need another kingdom. I don't need more because I'm so busy,
Yeah.
you know, in a good way, caring about these people in this place. And more than happy to do that.
Yeah.
I'm all for the church growing. No problem with
Right.
that. Bring on the baptisms and
Yeah.
and such. And in fact, on September, one Sunday in September, we have 2 in River of Life, which is on the same day, which
Yeah.
is wonderful. And fortunately, they chose different services and such. But give me this part of the world for me to care about, and that's all. We are complete.
Yeah, and you know, I hear and I see some of these preachers who it's like, I want to build my church. Not so much I want to reach lost souls for Jesus. It's
Yeah.
but I'll be able to sell a book. I'll have a famous podcast. I'll market myself. I'll brand myself.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with well, okay,
Hopefully
here
not
we have
podcasts.
a podcast. But we're not doing this so that we can elevate ourselves.
No.
We just hope this assists other people in being able to do things like walk through the Sermon on the Mount.
and we're sort of amazed that it's happening, and thinking, really? So it's that part of that earth that he gives us. Now, I'm going to be bold and say we can do the next verse.
I was just going to say, should we
I think we can do this.
Yeah, blessed are those who hunger and thirst. Again, here it is, for righteousness.
Right.
And what's the result?
They will be satisfied.
You're gonna have a
Filled.
satisfaction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, if he had just said, blessed are those who hunger and thirst, there's a lot who could put rightly their hands up.
Yep.
Around this world, there is a
Yep.
great deal, far more than I know, of hunger and thirst, literally. People, all the pictures we could show,
Yeah.
and such. And it's good that you and I, with various groups like Compassion
Sure.
International,
Oh, yeah.
we provide as much as we can for their care. We do that. Peter Kelm School in Ghana is a great outreach of First Emmanuel
Yep.
that cares for those who are literally hungering and thirsting. So why did Jesus add hunger and thirst for righteousness?
Yeah, and I'm sure in the crowd there's Pharisees
Oh, sure.
who
Yeah.
believe they've made themselves righteous before God. They're not
Right.
hungering and thirsting for righteousness.
They're complete.
They're the arrogant. They're not the meek. They're the
No.
arrogant who say, "Whew, if I don't get to heaven, something's going to be
Something's
lacking."
wrong. This is
Yeah,
just
yeah.
not right.
But there are those who are listening to the Pharisees say, here's our 13
Right.
rules, regulations, and mandates. And they look at those and say, I haven't been able to follow those.
I didn't do the first 10.
Yeah, right.
You know, I thought those were hard enough.
Yes. And how am I ever going to be right with God?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And if you're hungering and thirsting, you're out looking for something to eat.
Good point.
Right?
Yes.
If I'm satisfied,
I'm
they
good.
always say go shopping after you eat.
Right.
Right.
Don't go when you're hungry.
Don't
'Cause,
go
boy,
when you're hungry.
You will buy every donut, every whatever they put up first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. Exactly. I once did a sermon analogy about that. And you're filled. And by the way, all you were sent to get was milk and bread. All right.
Oh.
But and you don't need a cart, so you didn't take a cart. But then you start loading up and loading up and loading up. When you finally get to milk and bread, your arms are so full, you hook the gallon milk on your little finger, which hurts like there's no tomorrow. And the bread, exactly. Or you're squishing the bread here. That's not the way to live.
No,
You know,
no.
you're going to drop the milk and crush the bread.
Yeah.
Because why? I couldn't let go of all my
Yep.
other stuff. So Jesus is saying, now look, instead of the filled ones, I'm going to tell you, are you hungry and thirsting for a right relationship with me? I don't think it's an insulated righteousness onto myself, but let's make righteousness that right relationship with me. Are you hungering for that relationship with your Heavenly Father? And I hope we all put our hands up and say, oh yeah, oh
am.
yeah, yeah.
And I think we might have mentioned this before, but with the different groups of Jewish people, the Zealots, the Essenes, the Sadducees, and Pharisees, theology of the Pharisees and the theology of Jesus was the closest of all those
Right.
groups.
Yeah.
They both would agree, shake hands, and say, you got it. You can't get to heaven unless you're right with God.
Right.
The
And there is a
difference-
heaven.
And there is a heaven.
Right. That was important.
The difference would be, how do I get that righteousness?
How do I do that? Right. I either build a wall, that's often the image of the Pharisee, the wall of my accomplishment around me to insulate me from you people.
Yep.
And or you follow Jesus,
You
who
know,
gives us that righteousness.
I seem to keep going back to the thief on the cross.
Oh yeah.
Hungering and thirsting.
Oh, that's true.
Remember, hey, remember me.
He knows the end is here. I'm not getting out of this. What do I need?
Yeah.
I need the next step,
I
which
need
is
that
a
mercy
kingdom
and
that's coming
grace.
and
Yeah.
mercy.
You know,
Exactly.
and how many times does Jesus depict heaven as that banquet place?
Oh, that's so true, isn't it?
Yeah.
Come to the banquet. It's a wedding banquet. It's a feast, a festival. You come. And some foolishly say, I'm busy. I got other stuff going on. Not realizing the food that's here and the hunger that's in you.
You and I have been to a couple of wedding receptions. Have you
Oh,
ever
yeah,
figured
been
out
to a
how
few.
many?
Oh, I don't know. Many.
I've
many.
done
many.
yeah. And hey, honey, we're driving. I wonder what they got. I wonder what they're serving.
Oh, wonder this. Well, don't you know by now?
And usually I do, but I didn't eat lunch.
Oh, that's true. What makes that wedding chicken look all the better.
Oh, it's dynamite.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if you're in the back row, the last people to be, fed, or by some fluke, you're at table 3. We were at table 3 recently, and we didn't know what to do. We weren't.
I know.
It wasn't our family. We were like in table 3. My gosh, who are we to be up here?
Was
But
there
anyway.
4 tables or what?
No, we kept thinking this is crazy.
Is it 33 or 3?
Yeah, I know. Well, we deserve to be in the back. But another thing about this, your food analogy is beautiful. So you didn't eat before, so it makes the wedding food, chicken, all the better. Great. And we thank all the hosts who have provided us all those meals, and we
Yes.
have had lots of them and such. And then thereby we drive home, and talking about the wedding. How was this? But here's the thing: satisfied is got to be longer than just until tomorrow morning.
Breakfast.
Exactly. Now, I'm all for this rhythm. We have a hunger for righteousness, and then we're satisfied. And certainly there's that sense of I'm hungry and I'm full, but it's got to be more than a 5-hour filling of when we know where to go always.
Yeah.
I have the slightest tinge of hunger for righteousness. I know where to go.
Yeah. Those moments of guilt. Oh my gosh, I shouldn't have done that. I keep doing it.
What's wrong?
The things that I don't want to do, I keep doing. The things I know I should do, I don't. What a wretched man
And
I am,
am.
says Paul in Romans 7. What do I do?
Exactly.
And
Who
he
will
says,
deliver me?
Here comes Jesus.
Exactly. Thanks be to God.
Yeah.
Through our Lord Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
he's got the food truck.
Exactly. I never thought of that. All right, that's true. I got an image here. Andy might work that up into the next icon for our image for our podcast.
Yeah, and it works out really well for sacramental theology. I go to communion, and I'm full of
Yes.
joy and peace because I'm full of faith and forgiveness.
Yes.
Right? I'm hungering. Oh, I can't wait to take communion.
Yes. But let's say on this food thing, it's not like a banquet that runs out.
Oh,
So I'm at the back of the line. Is there any really good stuff left? Probably not. I'm thin. Isn't it amazing that his righteousness, that which satisfies, that which fills my hunger, is always abundant, always fresh. I don't lose my measure by inviting somebody else to come.
No.
He provides for them, feeding the 5,000. If you brought along somebody, you both got fed by more than enough.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen in any normal way.
no.
No.
As a matter of fact, Diane and I were invited a few years ago. So given, we paid $150 for the two of us at some kind of a gala
Okay.
dinner auction thing.
Sounds good.
And I
Yep.
think literally we were probably at table 35.
Okay.
And we got up there and we each got 3 green beans and a roll.
Yeah, I
They
can
ran
believe it.
out of food.
Yes. Isn't that something? Because they let people just load up.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well, and I
exactly.
don't know if they were waiting for Jesus to multiply the beans and the loaves, but it was
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at that point, though, you're married to the kindest woman on the planet, she might say, we paid $150 for 3 green beans.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
And she shared them. So
But that happens in normal life. But isn't it amazing when he feeds us, like the feeding of the 5,000, you can come, you can bring others, you can be hungrier than you ever. He just smiles and said, I have more than enough.
Yeah. We
What
live
I
in a
do.
zero-sum world.
What is that?
I've got this much, and if I give away this much, I got nothing left.
Yes, right.
Right.
Okay.
Jesus feeds 5,000 with a little sack lunch, and he's got baskets left over.
Left over. Exactly.
How does that happen?
I don't know. But isn't that sort of that, given it shall be given unto you, good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, will
Overflowing.
be poured into your life.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
measure you give to others will be meted or measured out to you.
Yeah.
How does that happen? Well, it does. I mean, every moment of generosity has got that sort of a mystery to it.
That residual effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he is able to satisfy the hungry and thirsting for a righteous relationship with himself. And isn't that a wonderful thing, too? He comes and he brings that relationship to us. We don't have to go and look for him. Where is
Right.
he? Where is he? And even if I found him, how do I make sure that we're good today? Well, that's hopeless. A, I couldn't find him if he chose to be distant. And B, why would he have anything to do with me?
Oh.
Because I'm not having that good of a day, and tomorrow won't be any,
No.
better. No. But he creates that right relationship.
Exactly.
And he fills that hunger that by his Spirit he creates also.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're satisfied. When you've completed a task,
Okay.
you mow the lawn,
Oh,
and then you sit back. And
Yeah.
isn't there a satisfaction there?
absolutely. And you just look at it.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful. Even the weeds are looking a little better.
They're not as noticeable.
Not so much.
They're the same level as the little bit of grass.
Right,
that I
right,
have.
exactly.
We don't have to work to be satisfied. We have a Jesus who mows the lawn for us.
Puts us down and says, "Here, let's look."
Isn't this nice?
Yes.
And we're satisfied.
You know, it reminds me of one last satisfied. When we come to communion, Jesus says, "Do this in remembrance of me." And I think when we have that meal that satisfies our hunger, thirst, which is perfect, bread, wine, hunger, thirst, think about me, Jesus says.
Yeah.
Not think about what you've done, which would be you mowing the lawn, but now sit here, I'm feeding you, it fills you. Think about me.
Yeah.
And I thought, isn't that a wonderful thing? Just to pray, well, as I'm getting the supper, what should I be thinking about you? What parable? What miracle?
Yeah.
What word should be today's word? Now, there'll be another meal, another remember me. I think that's an endless invitation.
It is.
Now, when you take this meal, you think about me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not you, not your neighbor. You think about me.
Yeah. And when we do it, that whole Hebrew understanding of remember, you're right there with me at the first supper.
Yes.
You're there.
Right.
We're together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Satisfied.
go.
We should have had Snicker bar. You like show and tell.
Yeah. Right. We could have.
Satisfy your hunger.
Oh, that's beautiful. We could have.
Yeah.
And then we could have divided it.
But we didn't.
No, we didn't. We're not that bright. But you were that bright at the end.
Well,
I didn't have it.
I'll be real honest with you. It would have been better if I would have remembered that
It would have been.
Earlier.
And such.
earlier.
And
we could have eaten,
exactly.
satisfy my hunger.
And what I think held us up is, as we should tell our friends, we were both trying to remember an author whose books we have read, and we cannot remember his name. And at least during the middle of the podcast, we didn't suddenly erupt and say,
Shout out the name.
exactly,
Yeah.
Gary Heiber, whatever, no.
Yeah.
So,
it wasn't Helmut
no.
Leidtragen.
No, it wasn't. And so when we're off camera, my bet is it'll come to us.
Yeah.
And on our next podcast, we'll tell our friends the name and how fast it came to us.
Yeah.
Right there.
My bet is we won't remember.
Well, that's because we're gentlemen of a certain age,
Yeah.
which a title I sort of like.
That's nice.
Yes, and that's a very elastic title. We'll, and this would be very nice, we'll be in the nursing home side by side, adjoining rooms.
Yeah.
And we'll be gentlemen of an extended age, still yakking. And you know what they'll do? They'll put a dead mic in front of both of us just to make us think we're actually saying something
not a bad
for the
idea.
rest of the world. No. In fact, who knows if this is connected
I was going to
to
say, I
anything.
think
don't
Andy
know.
probably doesn't even have this
No.
connected.
That's not, anyway, we do thank our friends
Yep.
for watching with us, and we'll. I won't guarantee that we'll do 2 verses next time, but we could do verses.
Talk about mercy.
Mercy, and this one makes sense. Who gets mercy? The merciful. That should make us nod
there
our
you
heads.
go.
Of course,
There
of
you
course. And blessed are the pure in heart; they get to see God.
Yeah.
Again, these are 2 that I think we're going to be nodding our heads at. Well, of course.
There's a little bit of participation for us in these 2. We're going to go from justification to sanctification.
Showing mercy.
Yeah.
And we get a return on that,
Yeah.
like we were saying. Give, and it shall be given unto you.
Yeah.
This is
Not
good.
because we have to, but
No.
because we get to.
We get to.
Yeah.
So these are going to make us nod our heads. And I think he's waiting then to get very soon verses that will go, I don't know if I'm...
Shake our heads.
Yeah. Please, can I avoid that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, that's our next one as wonderful verses.
Super.
So read ahead, look ahead with us. It's not hard to keep up with us at the pace we're going. But we thank you very much.
Yeah. See you next time,
Yep.
and God bless.